Have you ever looked at your phone, opened the Chime app, and wondered if you could be doing something wrong? Like, maybe you're supposed to have a verified ID or something. You're not alone. Today, we're diving deep into the question, does Chime require ID? Let's get one thing straight. Chime doesn't require a government-issued ID to open an account. You can sign up using just your basic information like your name, address, and social security number. But that doesn't mean you're completely off the hook. Now, you might be thinking, hold on a second, if I don't need an ID, how do they know I'm actually me? Great question. Chime uses a combination of other methods to verify your identity. One of the primary ways is through your social security number. When you input your SSN, Chime runs it through a series of checks to confirm it matches the information they have on file. But wait, there's more. Chime also uses a process called identity verification. This involves providing personal information like your date of birth, address history, and employment details. It might sound like a lot, but it's all about keeping your money safe. Think of it as an extra layer of security. Now, let's talk about the different types of Chime accounts. You've got your basic spending account, which is pretty straightforward. But then there's the Chime Spot Me feature, which is like a small overdraft protection. To use Spot Me, you'll need to meet certain requirements, including having direct deposits of at least $500. And here's where things get a bit interesting. While you don't need an ID to open a Chime account or use the basic features, there's a chance you might need to verify your identity to access certain perks or increase your account limits. For example, if you want to increase your Spot Me limit, Chime might ask for additional verification, which could include providing a government-issued ID. So, to sum it up, while Chime doesn't demand an ID up front, it's not entirely off the table. Depending on how you use your account and what you want to achieve, you might need to verify your identity at some point. Now, let's address some common misconceptions. Some people think that if you use a prepaid debit card with Chime, you definitely need an ID. Not true. Prepaid cards are linked to your Chime account, and the same rules apply. You might need to verify your identity for certain features or limits, but it's not a general requirement. Another common question is about age restrictions. To open a Chime account, you need to be at least 18 years old. If you're under 18, you'll need a parent or guardian to open an account for you. But remember, even if you're a minor, the same ID rules apply. You might need to verify your identity for certain features or limits, but it's not a general requirement. Okay, let's talk about security. You might be wondering, is it safe to use Chime without verifying my ID? Well, Chime has implemented several security measures to protect your information. They use encryption to safeguard your data, and they have fraud monitoring systems in place. But remember, verifying your identity adds an extra layer of security. So, should you verify your identity as soon as possible? It depends. If you're happy with the basic features of your Chime account and don't plan on using Spot Me or increasing your limits, you might be okay without verifying your identity. But if you want to take advantage of all the perks that Chime offers, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and verify your identity. Now, let's talk about how to verify your identity. If Chime asks you to verify your identity, you'll typically need to provide a government-issued ID, such as a driver's license, passport, or state ID. You might also need to provide proof of address, like a utility bill or bank statement. The verification process can take a few days, so it's best to do it as soon as possible if you know you'll need to verify your identity. Once your identity is verified, you'll be able to access all the features of your Chime account. To wrap it up, while Chime doesn't require an ID to open an account, it might ask you to verify your identity for certain features or limits. The verification process is straightforward, and it adds an extra layer of security to your account. So, there you have it. We've covered everything you need to know about whether or not Chime requires ID. Remember, it's always a good idea to keep your account information up to date and secure. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.